Today's project is to get the living room refreshed. Want to get it set up for a summertime, bring out all my green decor and just get it freshened up and brightened up. My bin of things. This is a mixture of things I used here in the living room and a mixture of things that I used there in the kitchen. Here are my shelves. I've just been placing things here on the shelves that go here. There's no, great order, but just a place to set everything down as I'm going through things, my new thrift store finds and that. So we're gonna get all this decorated and everything. I pulled out of the tote. It is a lot, a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff wasn't in the tote. I had to go out to the front room and get it. I also have all of my florals down here. I have a few items here, and I found a few blue things that need to go with my 4th of July red, white, and blue patriotic decor. And in that tote, I also had the kitchen things, all my yellow decor. And like I said, some of this stuff wasn't in the tote. I had to bring it from my storage shelves. But for today, we're gonna work there in the living room. That I shared with you there in the kitchen is gonna go here on the shelf. So first thing I'm gonna do on the shelves is kind of group things by color. I like to make each little shelf kind of its own color or own theme. And then I'll start separating out everything on the different shelves. First off, I need to get them wiped down. Everything wiped down and separated by color or by theme. So like here I have turquoise. I have some books, some silver. Here, everything is either like country and western or Texas. Up here is beach themed items, some wood pieces, brass and gold, and then some more books. These are like president books. Here's my pile of dusty, dirty rags. I like these Tough Plus wipes. You get them at Dollar Tree for $1.25. And you get a good quantity of them. I don't know where it says. You get 160 of them. They're good. I like them. They serve me well. Generally cleared this table off. A lot of the items I've taken to the shelf and incorporated those in with the different colors that I just shared with y'all. These are the items that I'm going to keep out to incorporate just as decor within the room. As I shared with y'all in the previous clip, I did, bring stuff from the table over here that I thought I might want to use. Put it in with things that it goes with. Doesn't necessarily mean this is where it's going to go or where it's going to stay or if I'll even use it. It's just my little way of starting to get things organized. Next step in the room refresh is getting the floors clean. So I've already swept. And now I need to mop. I got all the shelves decorated. They're looking good. I've lived with them for a couple of days. I like to go back and tweak and, make adjustments. So far, I'm loving them. Let's get the floors all mopped. You can see over there is already dry. I had to mop it in stages so I could put things back as I went. The living room is now ready to finish decorating. We're ready to wrap up this refresh. It has been vacuumed. I think I said I swept. I didn't sweep, guys. I vacuumed, mopped, and dusted. Now that everything is clean in the living room, it's time to finish decorating, and I have the rest of my decor that I thought I might want to use in the living room here. So some of this stuff is going to be in the living room. Some of it's for my bedroom and some of it will be used here in the kitchen. It's just a mixture of all the rooms. I like to decorate in green for the summertime. As part of the living room refresh, my daughter installed these window insulation kits on the 3 windows that I have here in the living room. She actually got these kits in New England on clearance for me, and I think they're great. You get a roll of the film. In this kit, it does 10 windows, and you get the double stick tape. This is kind of hard to see. I know y'all can see me in the reflection, but this is the window. So if you were a friend of the channel last summer, y'all know I blacked out all the windows here in my house. I put these blackout curtains in each window. I have them on a tension rod inside the casing of the window, and then stretched down here I have another tension rod on the bottom holding it in place, and then she put the film on the outside of each window. I think it's going to work out great. I'm super excited to see if it's going to affect my electric bill. I know just blacking out the curtains helped a lot, and I'm curious to see if this film is going to help. Another thing that my daughter was able to help with, a couple of months ago, I was sitting in this recliner and it like snapped, so it stayed broken. I don't know if I talked about it earlier in this video, but I thought the couch was broken. She was able to realize that it was just out of its little bracket, and she was able to fix that for me, which is amazing. These are just the you know, like faux leather couches, and I put slip covers on them. I mean, they're not the best, but they fit my aesthetic and they look a lot better than the dark brown faux leather. I like it, and I'm so glad that she was able to fix that when I was scared I was going to end up needing to buy a new couch. Here's a view of my newly refreshed living room. It is now decorated for summer around the house. This beautiful magnolia picture was from my next door neighbor's house. This basket is full of blankets. I picked that up at Bell's. My couches were secondhand couches that I slip covered. I got them for 300 bucks. A great score. They belonged to my daughter's brother, and he was moving, and so I was able to snag those for 300 bucks. Amazing deal. Got the slip covers. Actually, I already had this slip cover, and I just needed to buy this one. Worked out perfectly. Some throw pillows that I have. Little vintage white one, a Calvin Klein dark gray one. The tan one I picked up at, is just the cover. I picked that one up at Hobby Lobby. The big white one is actually a Hearth and Hand one. I picked up from the thrift store for $2. Little sewing cabinet that I've turned into a side table. Little floral arrangement. Little jewelry box, and some coasters that I picked up at the thrift store. The gold lamp I got at Dirt Cheap. Those are sold at Target. Here on the small couch, I have a Ray Dunn Love Throw blanket and the black and white pillow I picked up at the thrift store. Little coffee table that I picked up at Dirt Cheap. I believe it was like $7. Some books. Little dishes that I thrifted. They are Germany. Little gold piece that I picked up at Hobby Lobby with some succulents that I got at Target. This little two-tiered Federal glass piece is a thrifted item, and the little green turtle is thrifted. Here on top of the coffee table, I have some brown craft paper. The rug is a Dirt Cheap find, is actually from Target. I got it for a great discount there at Dirt Cheap several years ago. My TV stand is actually 2 army trunks that I painted white several years ago. They were my uncle's. A little bit of more of the brown craft paper. Some little wood pieces that I thrifted, kind of like dough bowls, and some shells and some deer horns. On this side, little brown wooden vase that I thrifted, and some green glass that I thrifted. The little ivies, or little ferns rather, are from Target. Here's a full view of my bookshelves. These were here For as long as I can remember, they belonged to my grandparents. So a shelf by shelf now. Here's some childcraft books that were my grandmother's. Some miscellaneous items here. A picture of my dad and his parents and brothers and sisters. This here was my grandmother's. These items on this side I thrifted. These wooden boxes were my grandparents. Some other items that I've thrifted along the way. Here, the Heidi book and the Secret Garden book belonged to my mother. Everything else I thrifted, with the exception of this. It belonged to my Aunt Rose, which was my grandmother's aunt actually. Here, some books, some silver items. This little musical box was actually also my Aunt Rose's. These I have been thrifting as I find them, but the one that I shared with y'all that was my Aunt Rose's kind of started me off on the collection. Here are some books that were given to me by my mother's brother. I put some beach things here. He loved the beach, and so I put these up there. In the back is like a pitcher, a glass pitcher that I believe probably my grandmother made. I'm not sure. Some other little items. When I was in New England earlier this year, I picked up this wooden ruler and turned it into a Texas star. Coming down to the next shelf, it's just some random things, some new items, some thrifted items. This next shelf is all about Texas. Some Texas books, some blue bonnets, little sign, don't mess with Texas. I believe I got that at Penny's. No, it wasn't Penny's. I believe it was Bell's. Little Texas plate. I believe that was my grandmother's, one of my friends. It gave me this little Texas ornament. Some more books. A lot of these were my grandmother's. Some more green items here. I love to decorate in green for the summertime. So all that, I believe, yes, all of those things you see there have been thrifted. This little radio I found in my granddad's little garage, and I brought it in and cleaned it up when we bought the house. Down here are some books that I've shared with y'all. This one, you can't really read it, but this one is How to Behave and Why. It was my grandmother's, and when we didn't use good manners, she would read that to us. And then I thrifted How to Behave, and I'm sorry, this book here in the middle is Manners Can Be Fun. So when we didn't mind our manners, she would read that one. And then the red one, How to Behave, was one I thrifted, and this one I thrifted recently. They're all three by the same author. The top shelf are just like men type items that I've collected. My dad's diplomas up there. Some magazines, the Popular Mechanic magazines, were from my mother's two brothers when they were kids. So just some fun items that I've been collecting. Here, the little girl, her name is Priscilla. She sat on our grand piano. She was my mom's. Coming down, all the golden books that you see there belonged to my mother or her brothers. They were part of my grandmother's collection. A variety of items here that I've thrifted. Coming down, one more is some gold items. This little clock was my grandmother's. She set that every night and woke up to that. The little wooden box belonged to my grandparents. And then the last shelf here, just a few items that I've thrifted along the way. These two items were my granddad's. One of them is a water hose nozzle, and one of them was a old little like whisk broom. Behind my TV, I just have a little decor here, because you do see behind the TV if you're walking through the room. Have a little basket full of some silver items, and then a deer mount that was my dad's, and a little camo, vintage camo jacket that I thrifted. Also have his National Rifle Association membership up there, but of course I can't share that with y'all because, you know, it has his name on it. Anyway, so that is a little area there dedicated to my dad. He loved to deer hunt and that, and so I have just a few things there in his memory. Hope you have enjoyed this room refresh and a tour around my living room. I love to decorate in green and just have a lot of fun and bright colors for the summertime. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Become part of my friends here on YouTube. And I will see each of you in my next video. Bye, guys.